Many congratulations on investing your time right now to find out how the hell you're going to get your business through the coronavirus, the COVID-19 situation that we're currently in right now. The important thing is that you watch this right until the end, because I'm going to show you the 10 steps you need to take to make sure that your business not only survives, but actually comes out of this situation stronger than when you actually went in. Just so you know you're in the right place, by the way, this is a 10-step system that people have used in the past. Business owners like you have used in the past to get them through tough situations, to get them through financial crises, other recessions in the past. So it's really important that you grab a pen and take some notes, because you're going to find out stuff that maybe you haven't actually been doing and maybe you need to start doing. As you're probably aware, there was something in the press that came out in the last week by the Independent, and it was a organisation called the Corporate Finance Network, and they said that apparently they're concerned that a fifth of small businesses are going to go bust within the next month, partly because they've been left out by the government's funding programs. Now, obviously, focusing on getting funding is a great idea. If that's a possibility for you, obviously you want to look at that. But the important thing for this short video is for me to help you focus on the stuff we can control, not the stuff we can't control. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through these 10 steps, but just prior to that, I'm just going to explain to you the 3 real reasons why most businesses are going to struggle through this situation. Number 1, they actually don't know where they're at the moment. Their head's in the air, everything's gone, everything's changed, and they haven't actually sat back, taken a step away from their business to work out where they're at. Now, what do I mean by that? Maybe they haven't got a cash flow forecast. They roughly know how much money's in the bank, but they don't know how long that can support them with a restricted amount of business that they're currently getting at the moment. So we need to get in control of our figures. That's one very, very important thing. We also need to understand how many leads are coming through, what are our conversion rates and things like this. We need to get back in control of where we're at. Number 2, businesses don't know where they're heading, where they want to be. So if you don't know where you want to be, how are you going to get there? If you haven't got a clear, concise idea of where you want to be in 3 months, 6 months, a year's time, how the hell are we going to actually move in that direction? It's impossible, right? The third and final point, the third reason why businesses are struggling at the moment and will struggle, is they might know where they're starting from. They might know where they're heading to, but they've got absolutely no idea how to get there. There are certain areas, there are knowledge gaps that they've got that are going to really restrict them over the next few months. So if you're worried that either you're one of the businesses that is really going to struggle in the next couple of months, or you're just concerned about the medium term more, then listen up, because these next 10 steps are really going to help you. So this is for you, whether you're looking to, like I said, create a business that is going to come out of this stronger than when you went in, or whether you just want to get through it. So grab your pen, take a note of this. So the first thing is you need to get clear on why you need to plan. So planning is what this is all about. Get clear on why you need to plan, because if you don't know why, then it's not going to get done and you're not going to value the plan once you've done it. The second point is you need to create the time to make a plan. You need to set the time aside in your diary right now to make that happen. Whether it's 2-3 hours, whether it's next week, this week, make it happen, because if we haven't got the time in our diaries, this won't happen. Thirdly, the environment we're in. So if we're struggling, if we're working from home, we've got the kids running around, we're homeschooling and what have you, that might be an issue. Maybe you actually are in a different place. You're not working from home right now, which is great. But again, you need to be in a quiet environment where you can plan. If you're planning with someone else, that's great. They need to be involved. If you're better off working by yourself, then set that time aside. Turn your phone off, turn all email reminders off, and make sure it happens. The fourth thing is, this is really important, is choose the right format of a plan for you. So some people like Excel, some people hate it, some people prefer to do it on paper, some people prefer a wall chart. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which format you use, but the 2 things you need to consider are, is it conducive? Is it helping you actually plan in the first place, or is it awkward and overcomplicated for you? And secondly, really importantly, is it something you can actually put up on your wall? Because if you can't put it on your wall, if it's not going to be somewhere visible, then these plans won't happen. So I bet you there are a few people that are watching this video right now that have said, yeah, I've created plans. They're just on a bookshelf somewhere. They're in a filing cabinet or they're in an in tray. They haven't been looked at. That is not the idea of it, because otherwise these things are never going to happen. So the next point I'd like you to think about is, when you're starting your plan, start with the end in mind. Start with the end in mind. So, but what do I mean by that? Well, I mean, if you're creating a plan just to get over the next 3 months, work out, what do you want your business to look like in 90 days time? Because if we can't work that out, then it's very, very difficult to work out again how to get there. The next thing you need to consider are what baby steps do you need to take to actually get towards and hit that plan. And the best way I can actually do that for my business is by starting with the end goal and working your way back. It's much easier to do it that way round than starting from the bottom. It's a bit like sort of, when they built a railway line across the state, someone started from the west, someone started from the east, and they actually didn't end up meeting in the middle. You start from one position and work your way through. So start from the top, work your way back. The next point is to ensure you're not overcommitting. So once you've put your plan together, once you've got your first draft, look at it and think, are there other commitments I've got in between times that are going to stop those planned commitments happening? Because if there are, we want to set ourselves up for success and not failure. So you know full well that if you've got a bank holiday weekend, you've only got a 4-day week the next week, let's not pile too much work in that week. Because what happens is if we fail to hit our weekly activities that work towards that plan, the likelihood is we bin the plan and we actually lose track of where we're actually heading immediately. The next point is, I'd like to ask yourself, the 8th point is, what's going to stop you doing this stuff? So if there's stuff in your plan, have a look at it in the cold light of day, think, yep, I've got the time aside to do that. That's going to happen. That's going to work. Are there areas, have you got knowledge gaps? Are there things on there that you actually know you're probably going to struggle with when it comes down to it? And if so, what do you actually need to do to actually get over that hurdle? Is it something you need to learn beforehand to enable you to actually achieve that mini goal? So have a think about that and pop that into the plan as well. The 9th thing is, like I said, your plan needs to go somewhere visible, up on the wall, on a whiteboard. Keep it simple as well. It needn't be anything overly complicated, because if you've got a monstrous spreadsheet on the wall in 8-point font, that's not going to happen either. It needs to be simple. It needs to be visible. It needs to be in front of you all the time. And the final point is action. Obviously, planning's great, but if you don't take action as a result of this, then none of it was a good use of time at all. It was a total waste of time, because if you don't take action, then the plan becomes useless. But hopefully, the 9 previous steps to the last one, the action point, are going to help you get into the best position possible for you to take the action that you need to take to actually get this plan to happen and get your business into the position you want it to be in 3 months' time. So although it's important, although planning is really important, it forms only one of the 9-step process that we've actually got within our business to help business owners get their business to a situation ultimately where it could work without them. But for now, let's just focus on the here and now. What do we need to do to get through the next 90 days? What do we need to do to get through COVID, coronavirus? And how can we strengthen our business so when we come out of the other side, it's stronger and more efficient than it was when we went in? So if you want to get crystal clear on what you need to focus on in the next 90 days to make this all happen, to get your business into a position that you can be proud of in 90 days' time, I'm prepared to gift you 30 minutes of my time. So if you click the button below, you can book yourself directly into my diary. And by the end of that call, I will guarantee you'll have real clarity on what you need to do to either get started creating a plan or to actually work towards what your business needs to look like in 90 days' time. Just so you know, this offer is only available to business owners, and it's also only available to business owners who want to change. What do I mean by that? Lots of business owners I speak to want change, but they're not prepared to do anything about it. If you're that type of person, this call isn't for you. If you're prepared to make change to your business, to take action, click the button below, book in the call, and I look forward to speaking to you.